My name is Asha Rai, and today I will be speaking on goals in my community. The United Nations Sustainable Development Goal number 7 calls for affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all by 2030. Its 5 core targets are to expand infrastructure and upgrade technology for supplying modern and sustainable energy services for all in developing countries, to double the global rate of improvement in energy efficiency, to ensure universal access to affordable, reliable, and modern energy services, to enhance international cooperation to facilitate access to clean energy research and technology, and to increase substantially the share of renewable energies in the global energy mix. Now, in a Canadian perspective, the global energy transition is inspired in part by changing market and technology dynamics for energy products and services, but the primary motivation for Canada is the urgent need to cut global greenhouse gas emissions to address mounting risks and impacts of climate change. Accelerating the transition to a low-carbon economy today will reduce the cost of inaction. For these reasons, Canada joined with the vast majority of the world at the Paris climate talks in 2015 in committing to global action, pledging to reduce carbon emissions 30% below 2005 levels by 2030, with deeper reductions beyond that. To achieve this goal, the federal, territorial, and majority of provincial governments all agreed to the Pan-Canadian Framework on Clean Growth and Climate Change, which outlines the following commitments. Carbon pricing in all jurisdictions by 2018, which has been enacted federally, a nationwide strategy for electric vehicles by 2018, which has also since been enacted, accelerating nationwide coal phase-out by 2030, the implementation of a federal clean fuel standard, renewed support for industrial efficiency, including the adoption of energy management systems, and finally, a reduction in methane emissions from the oil and gas sector of 40 to 50% by 2025. Now, Canada has one big goal. Canada has one of the cleanest electricity grids in the world, with almost 70% of our electricity coming from non-emitting sources like hydro, nuclear, wind, and solar, with an additional 9% coming from biofuels. Canada has set a goal to have 90% of its electricity come from non-emitting sources by 2030. This will not only make Canada healthier, but will drive up its clean energy sector and create good jobs to support the economy. To accomplish this goal, the Government of Canada, in collaboration with provinces, territories, and Indigenous peoples, is taking bold action. So, how will Canada achieve their energy goals and reach their targets? The Government of Canada will work with the provinces and territories to phase out traditional coal-fired electricity by 2030. As Canada phases out coal-fired electricity, it will also make investments in clean energy research and innovation. As well, let's highlight some key figures of Canada's energy sector to understand what it currently looks like. Canada's resource wealth positions it as a global energy powerhouse. First, as previously mentioned, around 80% of Canadian electricity is generated from non-emitting sources, which is the second highest in the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, an intergovernmental economic organization. This figure is composed of many other figures that put Canada among the world's top renewable and clean energy producers in sectors such as wind energy, biomass production, and hydroelectricity. In addition to Canada's energy figures, it is important to see how Canadians are using energy and how that differs between provinces and territories. As you can see, hydroelectricity dominates Canada's energy usage across the nation. However, provinces and territories such as Alberta, Saskatchewan, and the Northwest Territories, and Nunavut, still heavily rely on non-renewable energy, whose extraction and production is unsustainable and does not align with Canada's climate change goals. So in order for Canada to achieve its goals and reach its targets, progress must be made in the transition to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy. There are 4 distinct pathways Canada can achieve its goals and reach its targets. First, by switching to clean power. Canada can complete the transformation to a nearly carbon-free electricity grid by growing its supply of clean and non-emitting electricity to switching more heating systems, transportation, and industrial processes to electricity, a process called clean electrification. Second, alongside reducing energy demand and boosting the use of clean electricity, Canada will continue to require liquid and gas in transportation, heating and cooling, and some industrial processes. Therefore, it must reduce the impact of those fuels by expanding Canada's capacity to produce and use cleaner fuels. Third, Canada needs to cut greenhouse gas emissions and create jobs while slashing energy waste. 1/3 of Canada's Paris Peace emissions commitment could be achieved by improving energy efficiency, which will also make businesses more competitive internationally. Finally, Canada will have to adapt to the changing global marketplace by cutting both costs and greenhouse gas emissions. By improving efficiency, using clean energy and cleaner fuels, and introducing new technology to capture and store carbon emissions, Canada's oil and gas industry can shrink its carbon footprint and increase its energy production. Positive change is already happening. Wind capacity in Canada grew 15 times over the past decade and will continue to grow. Wind turbines can be found sprouting the plains of the prairies through to the Atlantic coast. As well, solar power is also growing rapidly. In 2015, Canada was among the top 10 countries in the world for added solar capacity. As well, Canada is also building new innovative energy sources like geothermal and tidal energy. In fact, Nova Scotia is leading the way with its Cape Sharp tidal project, the first tidal in-stream turbine in North America. Now, focusing on British Columbia for a moment, there are numerous initiatives that the government of BC has taken or supported to achieve a clean economy by 2030. BC has committed to reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 40% by implementing the Clean BC Roadmap to 2030, which maps out routes to reach this target and set the course to fulfill its net zero commitment by 2050. This includes the development of a circular economy strategy where more resources are reused, repaired, recycled, and reintroduced as new products, as well as increasing the use of clean power sources like hydroelectricity and instead of gas and diesel. And BC tech companies such as Acona Power and General Fusion are creating innovative technologies that remove greenhouse gas emissions from our atmosphere. In addition, BC's carbon tax puts a price on pollution to encourage people, businesses, and industry to reduce emissions and switch to cleaner, more sustainable economic activity and invest in low-carbon innovation. As well, revenues generated from carbon tax increases have helped provide support for low and middle income people through the Climate Action Tax Credit. Continuing on, through Clean BC and other measures in the province, is supporting advances in technology that can help meet our emission goals while growing a cleaner economy that is ready for the significant global transition ahead. BC is doing this through innovation, such as Innovate BC, which supports technology startups and entrepreneurs through programs, sponsorship, and competition. Continuing on, although there has been much innovation towards clean and innovative energy technology and production, there are still barriers to overcome. The most substantial issue facing Canada is the inequity between provinces. Some provinces have more access to clean energy and the ability to produce it than others, especially those with significant sources of hydroelectricity, such as British Columbia. The Government of Canada will work with the provinces and territories, as well as Indigenous peoples, to invest in transmission lines to link provinces and territories that have abundant clean electricity to those that don't. So, as Canada ratchets up the production of clean power, it will also need to build it into current electricity systems effectively. This is why it is so essential to work with provincial and territorial governments to expand energy storage and support innovative smart grid technology, which uses sensors and automation to modernize the flow of electricity through the grid, making electricity systems more affordable, reliable, and modern. So, although there has been much innovation towards clean and innovative energy technology and production, there are still barriers to overcome. The most substantial issue facing Canada is the inequity between provinces, as previously mentioned. The Government of Canada will have to work hard if it wants to achieve its clean energy goals by 2030. In addition, so will the Government of British Columbia, and that starts on every single level with every type of consumer. Thank you for listening to my presentation.